Hey, peace and love. Good morning. It's Funky Friday, baby. Welcome to the Peace of the Morning Show. This is Darius A. Stanton, and we are Funkin' It Friday Live. I'm here with my very good friend, one of my best friends. We've been tight since the fifth grade. AG Rocks. What's up, AG Rocks?
What's up?
My main man, Rowel. What's up, brother?
You know, living the dream.
No doubt.
Living
And
the dream.
You are a dream. This brother is a dream in itself. He's an actor. He's a writer. He's the special assistant to the mayor of the city of Annapolis. So he's kind of here in a dual role, historian and also representing the mayor of the city of Annapolis. And the reason being is because we are celebrating Juneteenth, the city of Annapolis Juneteenth Gala, Parade, and Festival. That's right. Go ahead, mile it for him, son. Yeah, just like that. Ja, 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 ja. I mean, you gotta look. The parade has 1,900 participants coming. 1,900, 265. Room, room. You don't want to miss this, okay? The gala tonight is going to be here where we are live, broadcasting from the Crown Plaza Hotel here in the city of Annapolis. And when I tell you they've laid out the red carpet, the black carpet, the green carpet, and the gold, they have done it all. They have made Juneteenth a home here at Crown Plaza. Thank you so much to the general manager and all of their staff. They've done a phenomenal job. Make sure you support people that support people. Crown Plaza for your next event and your next staycation, vacation, not anybody else, Crown Plaza, okay? But hey, Will, Juneteenth, man, so there's a lot of, first of all, Carl asked the question. Carl, his birthday today. Right. Carl Snowden's birthday. Happy Solar Return, King, at the Caucus of African American Leaders meeting. Right. And he asked, how many years has it been since Juneteenth?
Are you asking me to do some math?
Do some math.
I feel like I'm on
Jeopardy.
I feel like I'm on African American Jeopardy.
There you go. And the county executive was in class, was in the room, and nobody stood up and gave the answer. And Carl said, see why we need more African American studies in class?
Yes.
Bingo.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, we have the answer. Okay, and the answer is 1867. So how many years since then? 155 years. So 155 years since Juneteenth. All right, let's give him a round of applause. Yeah, no doubt about it. We got a nice live studio audience today. So anyway, 155 years. The question is, though, Will, I'm going to just go straight to the core. With mass incarceration, the United States of America incarcerating more people than any other country in the world. We lead the world in incarceration. Unfortunately, the state of Maryland, who has officially made Juneteenth a holiday, as well as the county executive has officially made Juneteenth a holiday. Congratulations to them, the legislature, the council, everybody who voted for it, the city of Annapolis, all lined up and made it a holiday. However, Maryland incarcerates more African-American men between the ages of 18 and 24 than any other state in the country.
That's right.
And unfortunately, the Constitution still says that if you are a slave, if you commit a crime, then you are still treated basically as a slave.
That's right.
As property, which is why you have men in jail and women who are working and having to pay, restitution and work for people for $3, $5, $2. I think $5 is way out of the line. It's not even $5. I don't know anybody making $5 a day, right? So, free labor again
for their freedom.
Potentially. Now, restitution. You commit a crime. If you committed a crime, right? Because we have a lot of people who are locked up unjustifiably. But if you committed a crime, you should pay your restitution.
Yes.
However, the fact remains that we still have an issue when it comes to freedom. Yes. So my question is, as we kick off Juneteenth, the celebration of it, is freedom given, is freedom taken, or is freedom innate?
So
you
my
can put your answers in the chat. and get a puff off of that.
Yes. So my short answer is freedom is innate. In a cosmic, universal sense, it is innate.
He gets a round of applause for that.
Right. So now here's the thing. So I said cosmic, universal, spiritual. Yes. I wanna remind us that, first of all, because this is something we miss. And when you talked about educating and informing younger generations about the realities of why we celebrate things like Juneteenth, it gets muddled. And when you talk about critical race theory, as it's been called, and the fact that there's such backlash to it and other things, including policies that say, please don't hurt the feelings of people when you talk about the history of slavery, and also don't use the word slavery. Because what's interesting is in the Constitution and in the Declaration of Independence, as well as the Constitution, the word slavery is not actually used. We are referred to, and enslaved people were referred to as those people, or the people, meaning they understood that slavery was not a good word,
right,
and not a good thing, and it was inhumane. So I want to get back to my original point, which is the fact that let's not forget, when we talk about freedom, that the institution of slavery as it exists in the United States of America, as it did exist, was brutal. I mean, brutal, to the degree that
wicked.
You cannot depict it in a movie.
Right.
You cannot depict it fully in a novel and writing. It is so brutal. Now,
horrid.
Right. Now, when we talk about mass incarceration, as you said, and we talk about freedom, you are spot on. I believe it's the 13th Amendment, right? Even in the 13th Amendment, it does.
It makes way.
Right.
It gives way.
Right. It implies that there is a different level of interpreting our freedoms as individuals in the United States of America. The truth of the matter is, if you really look at the history of slavery, I'm going to go back to how brutal it was. We were subjected to breeding, okay, which meant that the Atlantic slave trade, the Middle Passage as we know it, had dwindled out. So the revenue wasn't coming from actually going back to Africa and bringing slaves over. By the, I think, early 1800s, it had dwindled out. So what did they do? How did the slave population go from 700,000 to 4 million? So at one point, we actually outnumbered the colonists and those who were originally here. That's where you get into the freedoms part, because if you understand that the economy came from breeding other human beings to create more labor, a larger workforce, then you really understand why those laws had to be created. So when we talk about Juneteenth, I'm going to bring this all the way back around.
Come on with
When we talk about Juneteenth, it is not just the emancipation of enslaved people in the United States of America. It is actually the starting point for understanding why we are where we are today. So Juneteenth isn't just that celebration. It is an acknowledgement and a re-acknowledgement of not only the brutality of slavery, but the fact that it took an edict to free another living human being from bondage. But that wasn't the end, because
please tell our audience
sorry,
what the term edict means.
So it is what in some instances it is a declaration or a directive from an authority figure. So whether it be nobility like a king or something, in our case it is our lawmakers, right? It is our council persons, our mayors, our governors, our senators, our presidents. So I want to bring it back around just so I can let you go move on to your next thing. But again, we have to, when we celebrate our cultural institutions, and that's not just in the physical sense. So an institution isn't a building, right? It is something that is earned and time worn, and something that creates a norm. So Juneteenth has become a cultural institution, right? More so out west, but as we move back east, because we knew, in fact, our people come from the Whitehall plantation, which is right down the road. we knew probably the day before. You know what I mean? Because we're right here.
Right.
We're in the seat of it all. So enslaved people in Maryland kind of had to jump on everybody else for a number of different reasons.
Which may be why that's a whole nother conversation. We have to break it.
No, but I'm with you. I already know where you're going.
Well, Maryland, if you think about it, it's just a tad bit more, even though it's a southern state, it's a tad bit more progressive in terms of black intellectual thought. Because think about it. Your grandfather, your great-grandfather, your great-grandfather, great-grandfather,
yes,
actually founded.
No, that was great. I thought you were talking about Reverend.
His family's so great, he just got a lot of greatness. That's right. Reverend Charles Green founded Morgan State University.
Right.
Think about it. Right? He started in the basement of a church. Right? He got locked up for teaching people the whole educate. He was an activist.
Yeah.
When he came out, he built a school.
Yeah.
Think about that. And the school now is about to open up its first doctoral program, medicine, not doctoral, but medical school at Morgan State University, and they lead the nation in engineers.
Yes.
Graduating African-American engineers, which my wife happens to be one, right? So think about Maryland was the first to put MBE, Minority Business Enterprise. Maryland was the first. So there's a lot of
wealthiest and most educated African Americans in the country.
Right.
Not Atlanta, not Los Angeles, not
That's right.
in the country. So the other thing I wanted to, because you sparked something in me. So this is the other interesting thing. So Maryland. One of the other reasons why we are the way we are, which there's a lot of words to describe Maryland, because anywhere you travel in the world, because you travel, you can spot somebody from Baltimore or DC, like you can just spot them, right?
Definitely.
Like, okay.
If you listen to them, they're gonna be like, "You from Baltimore?" Because they do that to me all the time.
Sure. So we particularly in the Annapolis area, Anne Arundel County area, we had a lot of freed Africans. So a lot of black people that were here, unlike a lot of other areas, were free.
We're free, right?
Now, freedom is in the sense that they didn't have.
And then you think about some of the greatness: Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman,
and they were educated. They could read. They were educated. They taught each other. They had industry, and because it wasn't solely agriculture, that's the other thing, is remembering that we were, in very close proximity to politics, to education, to all of those things, because we weren't as agriculturally centered, right? So there is agriculture here, but tobacco wasn't king right here.
Right.
It was a bunch of other things that were happening. So really quickly, this is the other interesting thing. In Maryland, though we had a lot of free people, we had some education, we had all of that proximity. Remember that remember that we were the ones who, the Dred Scott decision and seminal legislation that defined not only enslaved Africans, but those who were free, that defined national public policy. It defined it, right? Like what we were as human beings, what we represented, how we were able to move in the world, how we were able to enjoy the fruits of labor. So
make sure you get your pen out, right? No, seriously, I want you to get your pen out. This is action-based media, so get your pen out. And these names that he's talking about, Taney, look them up. Dred Scott, look it up. Yeah. So you can do the homework, do the research. Don't just talk about it. No, have some substance. It's called root cause leadership. That's what we're promoting here on the Peace in the Morning.
So Phyliss T. Adams is someone that I, aside from being a neighbor of mine, which means I need to behave in my neighborhood in case I run into her. But the other thing is the power in having and convening celebrations around Juneteenth is hard to describe the power in that. Number one, because what we're doing is it's place-based, so it's where we are. And what we need to claim as people who live in Annapolis and live in this area, we need to claim the fact that we have an extremely rich history in a million different areas following the enslavement of Africans, right? There's just so many distinctions as to what makes us different than, say, Charleston or Louisiana or Texas, which all had and continue to have brutal systems of of discrimination and almost apartheid. So I could talk forever about that, but I want to add one final thing. So again, the significance of celebrating Juneteenth isn't just the emancipation part. It is once you understand what happened with Reconstruction. So there was freedom. Again, there was an edict. As a result of that, you would think that people that had been in bondage for all of that time would take maybe 50, 60 years to figure stuff out, right? You know, like
Sure.
education.
Sure. We couldn't read.
Right.
It was against the law.
Right,
You'd be killed for reading.
Right.
Literally.
But here's what
You'd be
happened.
killed for teaching somebody,
Yes.
or whipped, beaten for teaching someone how to read.
Yes, but here's what happened. This is what happened. Places like Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, black voters. There were registered black voters by the hundreds of thousands immediately following their emancipation.
Right.
So think about that. There were black businesses. That's why when we celebrate Black Wall Street, we talk about Black Wall Street. During Reconstruction, immediately, formerly enslaved people.
It didn't take 50 years.
No, it didn't. They
Right.
immediately created community.
Already going elected to state legislatures. Already
There was
elected
thousands of
Thousands.
elected officials
Yeah.
in the South.
Yeah.
Thousands. I want y'all
who
to
happen to
remember
be
this.
Republicans. A lot of it.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
quick historical note.
Right. So as I'm gonna wrap this up because as you know, we get down, both of us. So as we celebrate Juneteenth, it is important to remember. I mean, first of all, one of the things that allow us and the African American diaspora or culture also is resilience. Is resilience, right? It's like the beauty of us sitting here right now and having the wherewithal to move forward and connect with each other. Even something as much as two black men being able to have a relationship and connect with each other and trust one another, right? And move forward on that, knowing all of the stuff that I ran my mouth about earlier, knowing all of that, right? That we were pitted against each other, that literally if you were in the slave market house and they called you Jim, every time, this almost makes me wonder, every time you were sold, they gave you another name because you were just like a dog or a cat. And I'm going to use this example, and this is a trigger warning, because the other thing is when we talk about this is traumatic. This is traumatizing, right? Like it hurts. I was having a conversation earlier we were talking about PTSD. I'm gonna let that lay right there. So in our DNA, how we approach law enforcement, how we approach all of these different things, stem from a little bit of our celebration of Juneteenth, right? Like if you listen to our elders, and they used to say how I got over. Remember that? How I got over.
I'm so glad
you said that. It's like, last thing. I keep saying last thing, but let me finish this last point.
I'll let you go because you remember.
I'm gonna finish this last point. So if you think about the trauma involved in all of those things, right? And you then remember that you could ask a question and go, why are we celebrating something like ending of slavery? Like, why would you celebrate that? Why wouldn't you celebrate something else, right? But the truth of the matter is, the power in us moving forward and the power in us having a collective understanding of our struggles, but also the abilities of our triumphs. And our triumphs, it is a brilliant and beautiful thing to think that if I go back in my family, it isn't just the awesome and amazing things that they did, but the fact that they had the strength and resiliency to land me right here, to land whoever's watching this right here, for someone who is probably even sitting in a jail cell right now. Even that is miraculous. The fact that they are able to still be, right? Like that. And we have to. That's the part of Juneteenth. The celebration is like the expression of love and togetherness, but it's also like, we should be looking at each other and be like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
To still,
No, seriously, like I'm not talking about you got a degree, you make this much money.
The celebration of life.
Like, look at you.
The celebration of love. The fact that we're still able to love. So
I'm sorry
what I want to transition as we bring in T. Adams and the staff here from Crown Plaza. I want to thank you, Mr. Rowel, Will Rowel, special assistant for the city of Annapolis, to the mayor. The city of Annapolis, thank you for your support, the county. But I want to just take the word resilience and then escalate it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because resilient means that we're in a constant, perpetual state. That doesn't mean this, but
recovery,
of getting over.
Yes.
How I got over. Soon and very soon, by and by. Like we gotta constantly get over.
Right.
But I want people to understand something. 400 years of slavery is a blip of time. I want you to look up Mansa Musa. They sent 1,800. The king before Mansa Musa, who's the king of Mali, the king before him sent 1,800 ships off the coast of Gambia around the world with gold and riches and gave them away. Yeah. They didn't go taking and colonizing. They went around the world, 1,800 ships.
Yeah, so
I wanted you to understand that history of slavery and what we've dealt with here in the United States of America and throughout the world of the African diaspora as a result of colonization is a small part of history.
So I want to jump in real quick because I get excited about this. So when you go and you calculate, there's lists that Forbes does and everyone does of the richest people ever. So there's Genghis Khan's on the list, people like that, right?
Right.
Alexander the Great, Napoleon, people who conquered other lands. So Mansa Musa, he's number one by far. To the extent that when you Google it, so I challenge everybody to Google it.
Right.
It says his fortune was so vast they cannot calculate it.
Wow.
Like trillions.
And the greatest thing about it, he gave it away.
Yeah.
He gave it away. Like he didn't keep going to gobble up more. Yeah. It was something about him, which then goes back to the spirit of the celebration. And so on that note, my good brother, we're going to bring someone we dearly love. After this commercial break, we're going to chop it up with the founder of the Juneteenth City of Annapolis Gala, Festival, Parade, and Festival. We'll be right back on the Peace in the Morning Show.
Power Generation Network is a catalyst to promote Black businesses, providing sustainable solutions that impact our local businesses, our communities, and our families. Washington, D.C., Prince George's County, Maryland, and Atlanta, Georgia are all thriving metropolises. How did it get that way? Leaders came together and took a stand. They put policies in place that made sure Black businesses and Black people benefited from the contracts and the industries that were being developed. That set the stage for an environment where Black people opened doors for others in their community. They were connected and shared their resources. Power Generation Network is fostering that culture all over the country. People of color will create opportunities for each other. Businesses that are committed to excellence will work together, employing the local community, lending capital, and so much more. We use state-of-the-art technology and innovative networking platforms that connect your business with the right people and resources to better manage your businesses and increase your bottom line. Power Generation Network, join our team. We're already on yours.
Hey, welcome forward. This is Darius A. Stanton with the Peace of the Morning Show. We just had the dynamic William Rowel. Look him up, Will T. Rowel, beautiful brother. Hey, share this show, push it out there. We want you to know today we are celebrating the City of Annapolis Juneteenth Gala, Parade, and Festival. And we're joined by the founder of Juneteenth, Ms. T. Adams. And she has a special guest with her that she brought along because they've been so phenomenal to the festival itself. I just want to say, to the founder of Light It Up with AAA, a mom to so many. My children wouldn't be who they are if it were not for our good friend and dear love, Phyliss T. Adams. Welcome back to the
Please
Peach to the Morning
don't
Show.
make me cry because I've been crying all weekend, rejoicing in exactly everything that is coming about this weekend. It has been hard. It has been hiccups. It has been a lot of joy and celebration and fun and literally no sleep. And I look forward
To
to
some
the
sleep.
minute when June the 20th is here, which means I can get to rest, but I wouldn't trade it for
So
all
that means you
the
had
kids.
joy
Yes.
and pain, like sunshine and rain. Come on now, with joy and pain. That's right, but we got sunshine all weekend long here for Juneteenth, second annual Juneteenth festival. So tell us who our friend is.
Okay, this is my dear, dear, dear friend. We met, how long has it been, Suzanne?
I feel like it's a year now.
Yes, Suzanne Frost with the Crown Plaza Hotel. And I could not have even envisioned the magnitude of the connection that God, when He connected the dots, He connected the dots. And He has a way of doing that. And when I met them and told them we wanted to, we were looking for a host hotel, and they reached out. I think before I even got to the building, they had done their research and they said, yes, we want to do this. And we meet on a monthly basis. They have not just been a hotel collecting money and selling tickets. We have sold out this hotel with guests from all across the country, from Washington
You mean
State.
the not just the event, but the hotel itself?
The hotel is sold out
What?
with our Juneteenth guests.
Hey, let's give a round of applause for that. Yeah. All right. That's so exciting. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you.
very
So
much.
why was it so important for your hotel to be such, not only a host of the event, but just a partner? Because you're not just hosting, you're a partner.
We're a
Mhm.
member of the community. I mean, that's what this is. And the minute Phyliss called, I was very interested. I said, absolutely. And then that day she came over twice and we were
Y'all just tight after that, huh?
And, you know, I've lived here 25 years, raised my children here. I mean, Phyliss is, we're all neighbors. We're a member of the community. Last year was the first year. This evolves for her when you speak with her and you hear how this was her vision and how it evolved. And then the world just connected for us. I mean, we just knew the same people. We could reach out to different people at the same time and pull it all together. So we've been meeting once a month for breakfast and different committee members, and it evolves. And it's just been wonderful.
Food
It's been
tastings,
drink tastings,
finding out
room
our
meetings,
signature
yeah.
drink,
Yeah.
and yes.
Oh yeah.
I saw that in the hall. So first of all, when you come into the hotel, you see Juneteenth. Well, before you get to the hotel, so yesterday, thank you very much for allowing me to be the announcer for the parade. It's my second year. I'm very excited. We worked out some details yesterday, so we'll be downtown on the steps of the Graduate, actually, which happens to be, quick historical fact, before that it was a Lowe's Hotel, Annapolis Hotel, where I worked at 14 years old, which was 1984, and I was a dishwasher. All right. Fast forward to 1965, my grandfather, Lacey McKinney, Marita Carroll, and one other person, the two other persons, actually protested. And every day, my grandmother would send a cab to my grandfather, William H. Johnson Jr., my grandmother, Madeline Johnson, to pick him up, soak his feet, and then send him to work at the Naval Academy, which he had to be to work at 6 o'clock. So he had a federal government job, but he was protesting in the city of Annapolis to desegregate, which at that time was a Delhi, Ghana, right? So they did that every day. And then I ended up working in the very hotel. And then fast forward to 96, where I actually got married in that hotel, and you were there.
Absolutely.
And we had the largest, it was like 575 people at the reception, right? My point being, look at how
We've come along.
history, my grandfather paved the way. And now I'm announcing a parade celebrating Juneteenth at that very landmark. And so you've now brought the parade and coming up and down Main Street and West Street signs all over the place.
Yes,
Juneteenth, City of
yes.
Annapolis parade. And then when you get here to the Crown Plaza, voila, you've got Juneteenth. It's on the floor.
It's a logo,
They got the logo.
yes.
The staff have on T-shirts. The front desk. I mean, they've gone. It's just, as I said, they rolled out the black, the red, the green, and the gold carpet for Juneteenth. So tell us about the events, and please, right now, share the show, get the information out there because the lineup is exquisite. Tonight is sold out, but you have tomorrow's parade, the festival. So tell us about the weekend. Start with tonight.
Okay, tonight
Please.
we're having the our gala. We're honoring our unsung heroes. Sometimes, you know, a lot of people are honored, but there are people that have made a difference that you would never know about. So it's our opportunity to shine on them and to love on them and to tell them thank you. We started with the gala. The gala is sold out. Please do not call us trying to figure out
How to
how
get
you
in?
can adjust tickets, get in, poke your head in. The answer
Couple extra
is
dollars.
no. Next year, you will get your tickets early because this is the second year in a row that we've sold out and there's not a ticket to be found anywhere. So we're having our gala tonight. We have 300 plus guests. We have the For the Road band that will be playing. We also have DJ Kenny White. He is also a firefighter in the city of Annapolis, and he did it especially for me. We've had some phenomenal people decorate this room to make sure that it was an evening that you will
We'll show you a
never
picture
forget.
before we break off.
And then on tomorrow, we start with a parade, and we have a libation ceremony at the city dock that starts 7 minutes to 12. After the libation ceremony, then we will, the parade starts at 12 noon, not 12:01, not 12:02, but 12 noon. We start the parade. We march from downtown because that's where the enslaved came in on the waters. And then we're going to march uptown to Amos Garrett Boulevard. It is critical that you know there will be no parking at Maryland Hall or the Bates Middle School. All parking will be at the Navy Stadium at Gate 5. Is where there'll be pickups. Parking, they've reduced the rates to $5. So take advantage of all of the things that the hoops we had to jump through to make that possible. We will have shuttles with our Juneteenth logos, so you know they're not trying to kidnap you and take you anywhere. The shuttles will bring you to either Park Place, or it will bring you after the parade is over. It'll take you to Maryland Hall. It will drop you off there. The shuttles are free. We've made it possible for it to be free. After we get through the parade at 2 o'clock, we're starting our festival. The festival is an all-day festival. We have local entertainment. We have the Chuck.
Before you jump tell us real quick, who are some of the parties that are in the parade?
Oh, okay. We have the Masons. The Masons are probably 200 strong for the Masons. And then we have the Myrick Grand Chapter, which is probably another 100 plus.
It's over 1,900 folks that are in the parade. You got some car shows, some cars.
We have cars in the parade. We have some floats in the parade. We have horses in the parade. And so
tell us about the ladies on the jumping. Are they back this year?
Yes, the ladies that are on the jumping, they're back this year. The bounce crew. We have the ball bosses. We have African dancers and African drummers.
Bands as well.
We don't have a lot of bands, and that was intentional. You know, but we still want to celebrate us. We want to celebrate our heritage. And so we have a little bit of everything. We have Lady Liberty. Lady Liberty represents our freedom. We have Harriet Tubman in the parade because Harriet Tubman was instrumental, you know, with the enslaved. So with all of that being said, we're having a phenomenal parade.
So the shuttle, you catch the shuttle to go to the parade, or you catch the shuttle to go? What time does the shuttle start running?
The shuttle starts running at as early as 11:30.
Okay.
And
that's at the Naval Academy.
That's the Naval Academy, and it's off of Taylor.
Rowel Boulevard and Taylor Avenue.
Right. So you catch the shuttle at Gate 5, And then from the shuttle will take you to where the parade ends so that you can see the parade. And then we go to the festival.
Excellent.
And the shuttle is free.
So now the festival last year, you had fireworks, you had 2 stages, you had a phenomenal African American exhibit that was done by Craig Coates and Bishop Craig
Freedom
Coates.
Way.
Bishop
Apostle
Craig Coates. And so, a host of other vendors. Tell us about, who's performing at the festival.
Okay. First of all, Bishop Coates has put together a display called Freedom Way. It tells the journey from Texas. It tells the journey to why we're celebrating it as well. And then after that, we have local artists, we have poets, we have dancers. We have a little bit of everything as far as entertainment. We also have our featured artists because I wanted to bring the best of the best to the best. Working with the no budget that we had. We had, no funding that we needed, but God gave me a vision and I trusted him and I trusted the process and it's working. We have on the R&B stage, we have Avery Sunshine.
Wow.
Phenomenal artists. We have Devon Daniil, who's a local. She's local, but she's phenomenal, and she's right up there with the Avery Sunshine. And we end with the Chuck Brown Band, and then after the Chuck Brown Band, we have fireworks. But this time, God gave me another direction. It's like, God, can you slow down because this is bigger than me. And he said two main stages. So we had 2 main stages.
Wow.
And we had the gospel stage. It's an opportunity to reach the unreached, those that may not go to church. So it was very important because this was a part of us. If we had nothing else, we had church and we had God. So we have Corinne Hawthorne. She's a multiple Stella Award winner. We have Beverly Crawford for the seasoned people. And we have a Juneteenth choir. And also then we ended with Pastor Mike Jr. Pastor Mike Jr. is a 5-time Stellar Award winner, and he's about to receive probably 5 more Stellar Awards. And he kept waking me up in the morning saying, it's going to be big. And that's one of Pastor Mike's theme songs. It's going to be big. So get ready, bring your cameras. You cannot bring tents. We don't want your pets. We love them, but you have to leave them at home. You can bring your chairs, but no tents, no tables. We have plenty of vendors. We have over 100 vendors all throughout, food vendors. We have educational vendors. We have T-shirt vendors. We have all types of vendors. And we have the beautiful T-shirt that Suzanne is wearing. This helps support Juneteenth, and they're $25 for a T-shirt. We have lots of T-shirts.
How can people support? So if you can donate right now, you're not able to come to the festival, or you want to come, but you want to donate and contribute to something that's celebrating history, how can people donate?
You can go to www.theannapolisjuneteenth.org, and it's on every page. You click the donate button, and they will give you a tax receipt as soon as you hit that button. So we ask that you continue to support because we can make it happen. And I cannot go another step further without thanking the amazing teams that we have. There sometimes we had 12-hour meetings, but we got the job done. And without the team, people see me in the forefront because I have a team that said the only stipulation they had was they would not do interviews. They're all behind the scenes people. They get the job done. Without that team, they're a team straight from heaven. And I thank God every day that he sent that team to me because it makes it possible to make Juneteenth possible.
And you already announced your next chair, is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
So who is the next chair? Drum roll, please.
I am so proud to announce that Tiffany Butler, my cousin, our cousin, she talked to me last year and she said, Cousin T, she says, don't give it up. And it's like, I'm tired. I'm very tired. And I need more of the time for me. I am in the 70s Club now. And being a part of the 70s Club, I need to make sure that I give back to my family that I give back. Hats off to my husband, Preston Adams,
That's
who
off to
is
the king.
probably gonna run away if Juneteenth doesn't hurry up and get here. You know, he understands the visionary, and I thank him for that. But it's time for me to step back. And when you empower the young people, when you teach and you guide them, you let them take that baton and run with it. So Tiffany Butler, who was just appointed a vice principal at the school that she's at, I can't remember, charge it to the head, not to the heart. But Tiffany will be taking the lead. I will still be there helping wherever they need me, but my season has ended and it's time to pass the baton.
Well, you know, the great thing about it, you know, you taking our children skiing, whitewater rafting, you know, we had experiences thanks to you and others that, you know, other children may not have had. It just opened up. And now our children are traveling all over the world, right? Literally. You know, they all got their passports, they all, you know, jumped out there. And so, you know, I want to thank you on behalf of the families that benefited as a result of that work that you and your husband had done for so many years. But to understand the value of passing the baton.
That's right.
And really succession in terms of leadership is so important. And I'm really excited about the fact that you understood the value of building it, but then creating a pipeline.
That's right.
Training so that, you know, our younger, you know, community can take on those roles. And so I really take my hat off because
selfish.
It's
so selfish when you have the seasoned saints that have been through all of those hard knocks, that we don't train the people and prepare them for the next. My granddaughter, who's 14 years old, did the video that you'll see on our webpage, and her along with Will, and I gave her 2 days to come up with everything that she needed to produce that video. It is our job to take what we've learned and what we've been through, but it's also our job to make sure we say, here, it's your turn. It's not about Miss T anymore.
That's right.
Yes, thank God that Miss T has had those experiences, but it comes a point when the next generation, don't wait until I'm dead and gone. I don't want you to snot and cry all over me. I want to be able to pass it and say, here you go. And I will protect them. I'm not going to let anybody come in and try to insert their opinions on the way they're doing it, because they haven't been here to do what we've had to do to get to where we are. There was a time you couldn't walk into a place like this with open doors and say, hey, we want to come in. This Crown Plaza Hotel welcomed us with open arms. And I thank God that we're at a new level now, that we don't have that where we can't walk through doors, but the doors were graciously opened for us.
Well, Crown Plaza, thank you so much.
We're honored to have you.
So there you have it. You know, so this starts tonight, June 18th, and you'll be able to. The gala is already sold out, but you'll see it. You know, we'll be doing some Facebook posts and some other social media. But then tomorrow you have an opportunity to go park at the Navy Stadium, which is off of Rowel and Taylor Avenues. Please share this show so people can get the information as well as the education and the history. But also following the parade, which will start at 12 o'clock at the City Dock. At 11:53, they'll have a libations, really just paying tribute and honor to our good and righteous ancestors. Some of those who did not make it and those who did make it across the Middle Passage, and just as Will Rowell talked about, just the tragedy in that. But we are celebrating the triumph as well as, you know, the future that is so bright for us. And in spite of it all, because there's so much negativity going on, I really just encourage you, you know, as we shift gears, you know, to be bold for good. But Saturday, the parade starts at noon, downtown the City Dock, comes all the way up, and then to Adam Morgan Boulevard. And that's where the parade will end. And after the parade, at 2 p.m., the festival kicks off 2 main stages: gospel, R&B, Avery Sunshine, Pastor Mike,
yes,
and you know, tons of food, vendors. Bring your chairs, no tents, and have a good time. Have a good time and donate. You know, give, yes, contribute. The festival's free itself.
Yes,
right?
the festival.
Parking is
free.
$5. You got to park there. You won't be able to park on site. So make sure that you contribute so we can continue to build on this wonderful celebration. So Crown Plaza, thank you so much to the general manager. What's the general manager's name?
Brian Summers.
Brian Summers, doing a great job. He's in the background waving at us.
And also, this is an alcohol Saturday. It's an alcohol free event. They will not be allowed to bring alcohol in.
Alcohol free. And you know that the reason why alcohol free is so important.
Mm-hmm.
In our society, we are dealing with a great deal of violence.
Mm-hmm.
Not just gun violence, but sexual violence, emotional violence, the violence that you see in the imagery on television and social media. 50% of homicides are as a result of alcohol. 50% of sexual assaults, alcohol is involved. And 50% of domestic violence cases, alcohol is involved. You gotta understand the dynamic around it. While we're focused on gun control, which we should address gun control in a real pragmatic fashion, not just as a political football, we also have to understand what alcohol does and its impact on our communities. We cannot just keep letting it go. And so I really respect and just the fact that you have the vision and the strength and the courage to be able to say, no, we're not going to do this, because this does not represent what it is that we're working towards, and it's not helping our community. So on that note, we're so excited that we were able to host the show here live at the Crown Plaza Hotel. Let's give them another big round of applause. And make sure you check in at the Crown Plaza for your staycation, your vacation, and your vacation, right? And make sure that you support the Juneteenth Festival. Give it to them one more time, please.
The Juneteenth Festival, the webpage is www.theannapolisjuneteenth.org.
Excellent. And now I want to give you a quick look at the room, if I may.
Yes.
So you all can see how beautiful it is and how it's all set up for tonight. This is Darius A. Stanton with the Piece of the Morning Show, Funky Friday. The funk is really going to be in the heat that you're going to feel later on today, because it'll be 91 degrees. So make sure you hydrate, drink your lemon and water, and then water throughout the day. Sea moss if you got it. But make sure you drink and hydrate so you have a great day. We love you. God bless you. Peace in the morning. And now,
Power Generation Network is a catalyst to promote Black businesses, providing sustainable solutions that impact our local businesses, our communities, and our families. Washington, D.C., Prince George's County, Maryland, and Atlanta, Georgia are all thriving metropolises. How did it get that way? Leaders came together and took a stand. They put policies in place that made sure Black businesses and Black people benefited from the contracts and the industries that were being developed. That set the stage for an environment where Black people opened doors for others in their community. They were connected and shared their resources. Power Generation Network is fostering that culture all over the country. People of color will create opportunities for each other. Businesses that are committed to excellence will work together, employing the local community, lending capital, and so much more. We use state-of-the-art technology and innovative networking platforms that connect your business with the right people and resources to better manage your businesses and increase your bottom line. Power Generation Network, join our team. We're already on yours.
There it is. Look at this. This is the beautiful room here at the Crown Plaza. Look at those centerpieces. Isn't that awesome?
Hello.
Look at that. And this room will be sold out this evening.
Are you home?
So make sure you support Juneteenth. Thanks so much for being here. This is Darius A. Stanton saying peace in the morning. Have a beautiful, funky Friday. Peace and love.